Okay, we're good to go.
Okay, all right, Marcus. I appreciate it, brother. Good to talk to you here.
Yeah, you too.
So you are in Norway, correct?
Yes, that's correct. I'm in Norway.
Okay, where in Norway?
It's on the west side, southwest side in Norway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you posted something a little while ago around the time that we did Murph in the Linchpin private Facebook group that was so crazy that it basically sparked me to have this conversation with you. You took a screenshot and the screenshot basically said 42.2 kilometer run, 1,000 pull-ups, 2,000 push-ups, 3,000 air squats, and then another 42.2 kilometer run. And so for anyone, depending upon where you are in the world, those the calisthenics numbers in the middle of pull-ups, push-ups, and air squats, that's basically what would be the equivalent of 10 Murphs. But then the run to start is a full marathon, 26.2 miles, and the run to end is a full marathon at 26.2 miles. So at first I couldn't believe that you wrote 27 hours and 50 minutes. So just about 28 hours to do that. Is that all
That's
accurate?
correct. Yes, yes, it is.
Okay. So first of all, are you crazy?
I don't think so.
Second question, why?
I asked myself that question many times during the workout.
Oh,
Uh,
I believe it.
yes, I did. But it started out with a colleague of mine who showed me that there was this guy down in Australia that supposedly did this workout. And I kind of got intrigued by it. At first, I thought it's going to take a long time, so I'm not going to try it. But then it kind of grew on me, and I started doing some what am I going to say? Some gym math.
Yes.
How long is this going to take me if I'm being realistic? And I figured out that if I just stick with it, I'm going to be able to do the workout. It's just going to take a long time. So that's like the beginning of it all.
When you did the gym math beforehand,
Yeah.
what, it took you 28 hours. What was the number you came up with the gym math? Was it near the 28 hours or were you way off one way or the other?
Yeah, at first I was thinking if I could finish the workout under 24 hours, but then doing the gym math, it would be too optimistic.
Okay.
Yeah. So I said if I'm able to do it below 30 hours, I will be happy.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an insane amount of work. Did you just keep this crazy project in your head or did you mention it to some people and they're like, "Wait, you're thinking about doing what?"
Yeah, at first I just kept it to myself because I didn't want to be the guy who couldn't do it, you know?
Hmm.
And then I just started to mention it to some of my colleagues and some of my friends, and everybody just said it, that it's crazy. It's too much work, and I got kind of fired up by it. So I just started to do some. I needed to have kind of a plan on how to go through the entire workout because I can't just wing it.
No, yeah, for sure. So
Uh,
what was the how long have you been a part of Linchpin?
since 2018, I think.
Oh wow. Okay, wow. Now, but for something like this, I mean, I'm always very vocal that if you're going to do Murph, you don't need to do Murph prep if you're following Linchpin. But what you did is 10 Murphs and two marathons. That's something totally different. So are you a marathoner, on the side? Like how did you prepare for this?
I'm not a marathoner. I'm not a runner.
You're not a runner.
No, I'm a linch spinner. So but the plan I knew that I needed to get used to that what is it called in English? Is it called monostructural? movement.
Yeah, you just and just the volume that you're going to do,
Yeah,
the
so I
monstrous component of running.
because the plan was to do both marathons on a treadmill.
Okay.
So there's a mental aspect to it
No
as well,
doubt.
but we can talk about that afterwards. But I needed to adjust my body to just running a marathon on a treadmill.
Have you ever run a
Uh,
marathon before?
I ran a ultra trail run in 2019, I think it was,
Okay.
just over 42 kilometers.
Okay. So
Yes,
anything, is that just a one-time thing you did in your life? Anything before or
yeah,
after that?
no, I
Okay.
don't like competition, so
Okay. Okay. All right. So you did that once in your life and now you figure you're
yeah,
gonna double it. But you're not, some people love to run and on the side they might do some extra running just regularly, but you're not a regular extra runner.
no, I run when you tell me to.
Holy cow. Okay. All right. So you get this in and you understand that you probably should prepare your body a little bit for it. So what did that lead up, what was the plan you came up with to lead up to it?
So yeah, the plan was I was a little bit afraid about both marathons. So the plan
Sure.
was I needed to just get used to running for a long time, and I decided that I'm gonna divide each marathon into four sections. So like a 10.55 kilometer run,
Okay.
uh, and then rest for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna run slow. I'm not gonna
Yep.
run like
Sure.
so I just set the treadmill to 8.5 kilometers an hour, and that approximately takes you 1 hour and 15 minutes
Okay.
to do one section,
Okay.
and then a 15-minute break
Gotcha. Okay.
to fuel up.
I bet that 15 minutes went by fast.
Yes, it did.
But okay, so you broke it up into sections. Like
Yes.
that's your plan for the actual day, right? But did you
Yes.
or you s- but did you do test some of those sections leading up to it, or you just that was just what you did on the day and there was no like quote unquote like did you build up some time on the treadmill and some time and attention for your joints beforehand, or did you just come up with a plan and do it?
Yeah, I tried it out a couple of times
Okay,
just to see how it would be to run like let's say 10 kilometers, then rest for 10 minutes and run a 5K just to see
gotcha.
how I would react, and it felt fine. So basically the plan that I did when I did the workout was the first time doing it. So
Holy cow. Okay. What let's talk about well, there's so much to talk about. Let's talk about it's amazing that you weren't a good runner. It's amazing you really didn't do extra training. That's crazy. Um, how did you do it solo? Did you have like a support staff with you? Was there a couple friends cheering you on?
yeah, the first part was it was a solo run. It was only me, but the first part I work as a firefighter, so I did it at the firehouse.
Okay.
So the first marathon on the treadmill on at the firehouse, and all the middle part with the pull-ups, push-ups, and air squats. And there were people that supported me there.
And how did you spend the 15 minutes? Were you just shoving food and drink down your throat?
Yeah, it was just. But as you said, it went by so fast. So it was just back on the treadmill, and
I'm sure. Did you have like a bunch of like snacks and meals, pre-staged for each
yeah,
particular break?
yeah. I prepared food and drinks and snacks and
And
everything.
were you eating, I mean, did you just need pure calories? Were you eating like chicken breast and rice? Or were you eating like candy bars just to get like food, just to get calories and
Oh
sugar in your body?
no, it's a ground beef and rice. I ate
Okay.
that. And I ate pizza,
I did pizza last night, but I
and
didn't do 10 Murphs.
and I ate bars, and I drank like sports drinks, and so I think I fueled up pretty okay.
Okay. All right. What about, I guess just walk me, so you start and just walk me through when you now think about the experience, like what leaps out to you, whether it's highs and lows, mental conversations did you ever have? Why the heck am I doing this? Good choices, bad choices, just walk me through it.
Yeah, so in the beginning it was, of course, it was all okay, it's I'm feeling fresh, and it's, this is not going to be a problem. And as the hours go by, you start to, the negative thoughts appearing, and that was definitely the most challenging part of the entire progress, or the entire workout, was the mental part.
How did you
Because
overcome that? How did you
now,
quit?
uh, most of the times it was just you don't think of something else, and I was fine. But I think it was when I was, let's say, 18 kilometers into the last marathon,
Mm,
almost halfway through the last marathon, I just fell down a dark hole. Uh, and 10 minutes before that, I talked to a colleague of mine, and I told him I'm fine. This is no
mm,
problem. Like, because he asked me how is the head, how is the mental aspect, and I told him I'm fine. There's no problem. And then 10 minutes go by, and I just fell down a dark hole, and I
what was the
was
dark hole
done.
like?
I barely quit. It was there was because I realized that there was so many hours left,
Mm,
and I was tired. I was, how we gonna put it? Uh, it didn't give me anything anymore. This is
hmm.
this nobody cares if I quit.
Right.
So yeah, nobody cares. And I just sat down on a bench there. It was early in the morning downtown, and I just sat there for 15 minutes looking at the birds. So it was really hard, and I knew that I need to get out of it.
Hmm.
So either you quit, you call a cab, and you go home, or you get out of it. So my father has a house just 10 minutes walk from where I had my break, and I thought to myself, just go up there, grab a cup of coffee, and see where you're at.
Hmm.
So I did that. He wasn't at home, so there was no cup of coffee. But then I was out of that hole.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And then you just get back on the darn treadmill and finished it.
yeah, yes, yeah. I was, yeah,
I want to talk about the calisthenics in the middle as well, but
yeah.
how did it feel finishing?
Oh, it was amazing. I
Was
didn't
it
know
was
how
it joy
to.
and happiness, or was it just thank goodness this is over?
Oh, it was everything, everything at once. So there was a lot of feelings. The last 500 meters was an emotional roller coaster. Got to tell you that. So just walking, I was on a trail at the moment, and the tears are coming, and I can see the finish line, and it was great,
That's an
great feeling.
absolutely crazy. What did you wear for shoes?
I changed shoes a lot of times until the last marathon. So I had
Okay.
like basic running shoes with a lot of stability, and a lot of what is it called?
Cushion or
Uh,
support or
Cushion. Yeah, yeah, support and cushion.
um
Uh,
any blisters, any hot spots on your feet? Like how did your feet hold up?
no, they held up pretty nice. So I changed socks a lot of, all the time.
Okay.
So my feet, blisters, there was basically nothing
Did you
actually.
have music? Were you watching a show while you ran, or how did you pass the time?
Yeah, that's the the first marathon and the middle part. I had music, and I watched a couple of shows, and that, and then I forgot to charge my phone because I did the last marathon outside.
Okay.
So that was 9 hours with just my own head.
Oh my goodness. Yep, I can see some thoughts creeping in there.
So yeah.
How in the world did you do the 1,000 pull-ups, 2,000 push-ups, and the 3,000 air squats?
Uh, Okay, where I'm gonna start. When I did the planning, at first I didn't do it on partition, so I just did it whatever I felt like at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided that I'm gonna do like a 5, 10, 15,
Yep.
like the regular or the most common thing on Murph.
Yeah.
Uh, and I knew if I did like an every minute on the minute style, and if I did 5 pull-ups the first minute, 10,
I
push-ups the
see.
next minute,
Yes.
and 15 air squat the last minute, the middle part is going to take me 10 hours. And that is without any breaks. And I knew that's not going to happen. So
Right. That's
yes,
insane when you think about it that way, how much
yeah,
work it is.
yeah, it's 10 hours. So I thought I'm just going to do whatever feels good at the moment. So I just took like a half an hour. I did an every minute on the minute with the pull-ups, 5 pull-ups for like half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Then a little bit of a break, and then I did like an hour with air squats, for example.
Right.
But yeah, so that
But
was the
after
only.
that, if you do the math, you still have so much work left. Like even
Yeah,
after an hour and a half of 5 pull-ups or whatever it happens to be, like you still have so much. Like,
yeah.
did that play with your head as well? You're like, oh my, what did I get myself into?
Yes, it did because I had this whiteboard and I just, I needed to keep track on everything. And the numbers they wasn't going up. You know,
Right?
uh, I was
And
a
you
little
still
bit
have a
happy.
marathon to do.
Yeah, yeah. I was a little bit happy when I got to the halfway point with the air squats, but there's still 1,500 left. So there's so much work
Did you feel, I
left.
mean, at that point in time, at the halfway point, I mean, were you moving like a zombie? Did you feel like a truck hit you? I mean, what was your body feeling like? Because just again, most people watching this know how tired they are after one Murph.
Yeah, but the intensity is, it's not the
Sure,
Murph style
sure, but I
intensity.
mean,
But it was a roller coaster the entire way, mentally and physically, because at some point, the joints are starting to hurt. But then I
right.
realized, yeah, but then I realized that you get to a certain point and it's not getting any more, it's not getting more painful. It's just consistently painful.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you can stick with it with that type of pain, whatever it is, uh, and as long as you're not injured,
You
you're
just
doing
accept
fine.
it.
You need to accept it. Yeah,
Okay. Did your hands hold up or did they tear?
yeah. They tore up, and that's where when I got to like 450 pull-ups, I think it was.
Yeah.
My hand started tore up really bad, and I started to feel like pain in my shoulder. Like it was not good at all. And then I needed to make a decision. And
Mm-hmm.
I talked to a colleague of mine, and I had you in the back of my head where you have a phrase called scaling is cool.
Right.
Because I knew that if I'm gonna do like 550 more pull-ups, I'm gonna tear up my shoulder. And I'm not gonna be
Mm-hmm.
able to do pull-ups, I'm not gonna be able to do push-ups. So I decided I need to do something to just finish 1,000 of some pull exercise. So I
Mm-hmm.
did 500 regular pull-ups, and then I did 500. It's called like a horizontal pull-up or a reverse row, where
Okay. Yep.
you got
Yep.
your feet elevated, and
Yep.
you're at it. Yeah. So 500, but those were strict. So
Yeah. Oh,
it was pretty heavy.
you did not get
Uh,
shortchanged. No,
no, I
that's
don't think so. But it was like I needed to get over that thought that it wasn't good enough
Sure, I believe that. Yep, I can see that.
because the guy I was talking to, he just looked me straight in the eye and he asked me, "Can you live with it?" And I told him yes, because my shoulder is I'm going to tear something in my shoulder.
Smart call.
So yeah, so I think it was a smart goal.
And then, I mean, anyone who's done, again, regular Murph or Cindy knows that even just for 20 rounds of 5, 10, 15, the sets of 10 push-ups get hard. And just
Yes.
regular Murph, I mean, how hard? You had to do 2,000 push-ups. What was the strategy there?
Uh, Same. It was an every minute on the minute for as long as I felt okay, and then I took a break and did air squats. So it was just this, yeah. I don't have like a crazy plan that I
Okay.
executed to 100%, but
I mean, were you down to like one and two push-ups, or like what kind of sets were you able to maintain?
I maintained the sets of 10 for a long time. But I stuck to the every minute on the minute.
Okay.
I did that, but let's say at some point I did five, and then I just relaxed for 15 seconds, and I did the other five.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And for the air squats, what'd you do?
15 every
On
minute
just
on.
on the minute.
Yeah,
Man, I can't imagine how heavy your legs must have felt going into that final marathon after
yeah,
3,000 air squats.
yeah. That was the problem. That's when the reality check came in, because the plan was to run the last marathon.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I needed to do it outside because it was in the middle of the night, and I didn't want to wake up the guys at the station, starting up the treadmill and all
Right.
that. So I just filled up my Camelback, stuffed it with bars and whatever. Went outside and I ran like, I think, 20 meters, and I realized this is going to be a walking marathon
Oh,
because I got like a big stretch back on my calf. My joints were hurting, and I knew I need to walk 42 kilometers. And that was like a mental thing to get over, because I knew it's
yes.
going to take a long time.
Oh my goodness. And you said your phone was dead.
Yeah, it was. So it
Oh,
was just me and the birds.
you and the birds. Man, what, again, we talked about how it felt to actually finish and all that stuff. But what was the recovery process like? What did you feel like the next day, the next 3 days, the next week? I mean, how did you ease back into normal life? What did your body feel like?
Now that was kind of a new experience, because the same day that I finished work, as I was just beat up, and had the next day too, and then it was just slowly being progress on recovering. Uh, but I didn't work out for 2 weeks, I think,
Okay.
after I finished. I just needed to just get no pressure, nothing, just relax, do whatever you want to. And I just started with back on Linchpin now, like last week.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but
Um,
it went fairly okay. The recovery progress went fairly okay.
that's amazing. Now, do you have any, do you feel like literally back to normal, or do you still have some aches and nags that are still kind of with you a little
Yeah,
bit?
a little bit, a little bit. I got that big stretch just below my left knee, and I can feel that. I need to warm it up a little bit, and
Uh-huh.
I probably felt that stretch like when I reached 1,000 air squats, uh, and I thought maybe it would go away or whatever. I don't know what I thought, but
Right, right.
uh, it didn't go away. So I still feel that a little bit, but other than that, I feel pretty okay.
And did you wind up making a smart decision for your shoulders long term with that switch you did around 500? Like, are your shoulders okay?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, good. Okay, great. So that was a
Yeah,
very smart decision.
yeah, I think so. I really.
This experience, is it something you find yourself thinking about often, just during the day, or do you think about it when you're going to work out and you're like, I worked out for 28 hours. Like this is nothing. Like when does it cross your mind what you actually did?
I haven't like thought about it like that, but when I see people running right now, if I'm just outside and I see a guy running past me, you get your flashbacks to the workout itself. But I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. I don't. I'm really happy that I did it though, because I learned a lot. But
I can only imagine. So next year, is it just going to be a regular Murph for you?
of course, yes.
This is only the sort of thing you need to do once, huh?
This is a one and done.
What did your friends say that watched you? You know, they were at the firehouse. They'd go do something for like literally 7 hours. They'd come back and you're still working out. Like, what did they say?
They were, first of all, they were really supportive, and I needed that the entire time. And they came with some advice. They helped me. They came in with coffee if I needed coffee. But they all think that it was a crazy idea to even try to do the work. Yeah.
How on a related topic here in the United States, I wish I could say that all of our firefighters and police officers, first responders, were in great shape. That's not the case. Some are, but a lot are not. What's the current status of physical fitness in Norway in like the firefighting community?
It's really good.
Oh, nice.
There's
Okay.
yeah, the training culture for the firefighters in Norway is really good.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
that's distinctly different than here.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. How long have you been a firefighter?
Since 2014,
2014. Okay.
so around 10 years.
If somebody's watching this and they happen to be crazy and they're now like, you know what? That sounds so ridiculous that I like it.
Mm.
What would be your advice to somebody even contemplating doing something similar?
Um, if you take your time, you're gonna finish. I think that's the best advice I can give. And if you haven't done anything like it before, you can't prepare for the mental aspect of the workout. You just need to deal with it when it
Mm,
comes, because it's gonna come. The mental,
it's
you're
coming.
gonna, yeah, for sure.
Man, I tell you what, Marcus, there's one of I've been in this game for a long time, and there's not too many things that I see, monster lifts or whatever it happens to be that uh, get my undivided attention. But when you posted that 42.2 kilometer run, 1,000 pull-ups, 2,000 push-ups, 3,000 air squats, and a 42.2 kilometer run in 27 hours and 50 minutes, that had my undivided attention. So
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, keep up the good work. I'm glad that you recovered. I'm glad your body's feeling, somewhat back to normal. And genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thanks. Thanks for being a part of Linchpin. It is people like you that make it an awesome community. And so I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, Pat.